5 or 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with anxiety and mild depression. I've since had panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Um, I've dabbled with the thought of me being dead, um, and I have self harmed. Talking about this is actually very sensitive for me because not a lot of people know, not a lot of my friends or family know the ins and outs of my anxiety and depression. And I am still working on it, still going through it. I won't say it's as bad as it used to be. It's a lot better now. Um, but not a lot of people know about it. I talk about it a bit more now in terms of my work because of the young people that I work with. And you'd be surprised at the amount of people that are dealing and suffering with mental illness. I think because we look at mental illness as being in a straight jacket or in a mental institution, that it just goes over our head, and we don't realize that a lot of people need a lot of help. When I was diagnosed with anxiety and mild depression, I was part of a church. I was very active in that church. And I remember feeling at times lost in a crowd. And I remember I'd feel like I was all alone in this crowd of people. And I would be screaming out for help, but no sound would actually come out of my mouth. And I would be there like this, but no one noticed that I was crying for help. And I felt that way every time I was in church. And I was like, please, someone help me. Please realize that something is wrong with me. Something isn't right. Please help me, help me. And even though, as I said, I was involved in my church, I still didn't feel like there was anyone that I could talk to about my anxieties. And I just thought that, you know what, I had to get over it. I thought I had to pray it off, if you like. I felt like I had to find some other way of just shifting these feelings that I had. And they were really, really real feelings that I had. It's worth me making it clear right now that as a Christian, prayer is of utmost importance. And so I am not saying that praying for a mental health problem is a bad thing to do. It's actually a very, very good thing to do. But I think because of my own misconceptions about mental health, especially whilst I was going through the height of it, it kept me from sharing because I thought a certain way. I automatically assumed that the church would think a certain way. And I think with no real provision in church for such illnesses, I almost felt, definitely at the time, justified for feeling that way. If you broke your leg whilst walking down the street, for example, and you didn't tend to that broken leg, you just carried on trying to hop along on it. You just carried on with your day-to-day life. You didn't go to the hospital. You didn't, go to a doctor. You didn't ask for help. You just thought, you know what, I've got a broken leg. I just need to shift this. I'm sure if I just keep walking, it'll go, it'll go, it'll go. Eventually, it won't go. It will damage your leg, and you could probably do a lot of damage to your whole body eventually. And I think that's how people need to view mental health, is that just that you've got a physical health, you've got mental health. And in the same way that you've got to look after your physical health, you need to look after your mental health. And if something happens to you in your life, whether it's a traumatic situation or whatever it might be that would affect you mentally, I think it's important for us to realize that some things might be a bit broken, and so we need to get it mended. We need to get it fixed, just like anything else. And I think mental illness shouldn't be seen as um, necessarily a demonic possession, but it should be seen as, you know what, something has happened and this person needs a reset, if you like, and this person needs someone to talk to or someone to help them work through whatever it is that caused them to feel that pain in the first place.